For experienced hunters, each trip into the forest is not only a conquest, but also a test of courage. In the wild, they face challenges, dangers, and moments of sublimation that are difficult to describe in words. The pinnacle of boar hunting is therefore not only an action, but also a story of courage and perseverance. Anyone who has ever participated in a real wild boar hunt understands that it is not just about shooting down the prey. It is the hours of tracking, the breathless chases, and the moments where even a small mistake can cost a life. They know that the wild boar is mature, large and dangerous, something that only needs one gore to knock down even the strongest man. In that moment, it is as if waiting for the breathtaking confrontation that is about to take place. It is from these experiences that the pinnacle of boar hunting was born, making viewers unable to take their eyes off. A wild boar can destroy a hectare of crops in a day, so, if left unchecked, it will be a real disaster. Hunting wild boars is always an emotional experience. On a yellow field with a strong wind blowing, a giant wild boar rushed across like a shadow. The hunter stood firm, aiming quickly along the path. Bang! With just a neat pull of the trigger, the animal stopped and collapsed on the spot, as if even the wind had stopped.
Got him? Yeah, I'd say you got him.
The camera followed the hunter's footsteps as he moved. In front of him, the big wild boar was tearing through the thick grass. In just a moment of turning around, the hunter raised his gun and fired a single shot. The explosion echoed through the field, and the animal fell down cleanly, as if all its momentum had been cut off.
Snyggt.
A wild boar suddenly rushed out from the tall grass, extremely fast. The hunter only had time to take half a step back, raising his gun reflexively. A single shot rang out. The boar stopped in midair and fell to the soft ground, ending the lightning-fast confrontation. The running boar suddenly changed direction to the right, to avoid the hunting team. The main hunter turned his body by inertia, holding the gun firmly. The only shot rang out cleanly. The sound was sharp, like tearing the wind. The animal fell down, slid a few steps on the cracked ground, and lay still. The wind blew strongly, the grass tilted. The huge boar appeared at the far edge, trying to escape. The hunter adjusted to the wind, aiming quickly. The only shot flew out, hitting the target perfectly. The animal suddenly stopped. then fell down lightly like a rock that had lost its support. A herd of boars had run into the neighboring forest. We had very carefully followed their tracks, went deep into the forest to search and take down the biggest and strongest boars. The hunter hid behind a large tree trunk, leaned over and aimed quickly. A single shot rang out. The moment was silent. The beast lost its momentum, slid a few steps on the wet leaves, and collapsed. The large wild boar broke through the bushes, rushing through the narrow forest like a ship out of control. The hunter took a half step back, raising his gun in the direction of the charge. A short explosion rang out. The sound reverberated off the cliff. The beast stopped immediately and fell down before reaching him. From the left, the sound of branches breaking signaled danger. The wild boar suddenly jumped out, extremely fast. The hunter instinctively turned around, raising his gun in the air for a second. Crack! A single shot. The beast staggered and collapsed in the middle of the yellow leaves. Dappled light penetrated the tall trees. A giant wild boar was knocking down the bushes to escape. The hunter clung to the tree trunk, using it as a support, quickly aiming at the small gap between the branches and leaves. The single shot rang out. The beast immediately collapsed, as if blocked by an invisible wall. The beast leaped over a fallen tree, muscles rippling under its dark fur. The hunter had only a few seconds. He lifted his gun, held his breath, and pulled the trigger just as the boar left the tree. Bang! A single, clean, precise shot. The boar fell heavily to the ground and lay still. Some of us had set up bait traps to wait for the greedy boars to come here looking for food. This was often the most efficient and energy-sapping way to reach places where boars often congregated. The evening light penetrated through the tree trunks, creating long stretches of light on the ground. The big, strong wild boar approached the cornfield, its nose breathing continuously. The camera zoomed slowly, capturing its every movement sharply. In the distance, the hunter was decked out, his gun fixed. When the animal happily came down to eat, bang! A clean shot rang out. The frame shook slightly with the force of the gun. The boar stopped, and then went down right at the cornfield. The wild boar was eating corn, the famous dark patch under the reflected light. The hunter adjusted the scope. The red dot of the laser lightly pointed at the animal's shoulder. Bang! The problem of firing was clearly clarified in the soft light. The boar crouched down right next to the cornfield, not responding and rushing away. The gentle wind rustled the dry leaves. The wild boar was eating corn when it suddenly raised its head, its ears raised, its eyes alertly looking towards the forest. The camera captured the tense moment. The hunter immediately seized the opportunity. The barrel of the gun locked on the target. A single shot rang out, decisively. The beast fell into the middle of the grass. The scene was very quiet, only the sound of corn rustling. The camera was placed behind a stream of water shooting through the leaves, but the image of the wild boar was still very clear. The hunter breathed, the gun raised little by little so as not to make any noise. When the beast was level, creating a perfect gap between the leaves, the hunter shot the trigger. Bang! The image of the gun's sparks sprayed sharply. The boar cleaned up neatly. The camera took a high angle, overlooking the small field in the middle of the forest. A heavy wild boar was burying its head in its food, completely unaware that the hunter was standing on the ground above. The hunter adjusted the range. The camera caught the movement of his comforting finger. Boom! The sound echoed throughout the forest. The boar stopped, writhing right next to the cornfield.
After hours of tracking, overcoming tense moments like a string, and facing the most healthful pleasures of the mountains, the hunters finally reaped their well-deserved success. In the silence after each shot, they not only felt victory, but also felt the octopus serving the wild nature. Each hunt ended not with a loud sound, but with a quiet return to understand that the forest was healthy, and humans were just kites passing through, learning to honor and blend into it. The journey to hunt wild boar again, but the echoes of the peak moments still echoed in every step back.